Welcome to Press and Rewind. Today's episode, I'm taking you behind the scenes of our show to show you our little retro village that I've been building for about a year and a half now. If you're a fan of our show, you've already seen this little village. I use it whenever I leave the studio, taking to places like conventions or toy hunting. I thought of the little town when I was watching Mr. Rogers. Yes, I love Mr. Rogers. I loved it since I was a kid. One of the things I hate doing when I'm out of the studio is filming an intro. It's so awkward and embarrassing. So I was trying to think of a way to not have to do it on location, do it here in the studio, and then warp you guys to the location that I'm vlogging from. And that's how I thought of the little retro town that I built to pay respect to Mr. Rogers' neighborhood. So in order to show you this little town, I'm going to take my little handy dandy vlog camera and take behind the scenes of the show. Right now I'm going to get up from the set, walk behind the lights here. Here you will see the Press and Rewind set. First, we'll just look at that. I mean, come on. I love this set. So let's walk back here. So right there is where I do all the editing for Press and Rewind at my desk. I wanted to make this video because there's so many different retro pop culture references that it might take somebody a while to figure out. Let's start off with this house right here. This is the Press and Rewind studio, also known as my old childhood home in Reno, Nevada. Actually, Sparks, Nevada, right on the border of Reno. And right here in the driveway, you will see my dad's Porsche. So my dad had a Porsche when I was growing up, and this is actually what it looked like. And of course, we have Jimmy right here, but he's gonna be moving every now and then for different episodes. One episode he might be here, maybe here. So it might be a little like Where's Waldo when it comes to Jimmy for every episode. Let's get to our first pop culture reference. So right in front of my old childhood home, you'll see the Lion Estates. Of course, a Back to the Future reference, which is my all-time favorite movie. Let's go to another Back to the Future reference, because back behind my old home, you'll find the train from Back to the Future Part 3. I even copied this exactly like the movie and put that on the side of the train. And on top here, I cut up some toothpicks and painted them to look like firewood. And of course, the train is pushing the DeLorean, just like in Back to the Future Part 3. And just behind it, you'll see a Press and Rewind graffiti right there. And of course, to the left of that is Wild Stallions from Bill and Ted's Excellent Adventure. You won't ever really see this full map when I do videos, and this next portion of it you might not ever see except for right now. So to the left of the train track, you'll see Castle Grayskull from one of my favorite cartoons growing up, He-Man. And behind that, the Money Bin from DuckTales, which is my favorite cartoon of all time. And right above that is the Death Star from Star Wars. And then there is the Thunderquack from Darkwing Duck. Very, very small. Let's go back to the front of the town and show this building right here. This building here is another house I lived in when I was a kid. I was about 5 years old when we lived here, maybe 6. I love this old house. So many great memories of both of these houses. And then back behind it, and behind the train track, you'll see the water tower from Animaniacs, with a decal drawn by my good buddy Mark from That's Art Folks. And then right behind the water tower, you'll see Beetlejuice's gravesite. And then to the left of the gravesite, you'll see the Disneyland castle. I'll be zooming into this whenever I do some vlogging from the Disney parks.
Don't go anywhere! We'll be right back!
Did you know that Press and Rewind has a Patreon page where only $5 you can help support the show? It's true. By becoming a Patreon supporter, you will sleep well at night knowing that you've helped the further development of Press and Rewind. It could help with travel expenses, new equipment, monthly bills, or even commercials like this. And yes, my salary, which we still need to negotiate, by the way. And as a big thank you to every supporter, you'll even get your name featured at the end of every video. Visit pressandrewind.com for more details. And now you know.
And now, back to Pressing Rewind with Tim Nydell. What's a drum roll when you need it?
One more house I lived in that I have here on the map is this one right here. We lived in this house in Blountstown, Florida from when I was 13 to 19. This is where I lived. Another great house. And right in front of it, you'll never really see these buildings here, but this house was my grandparents' house in Portola, California, which is about 40 minutes from Reno. We spent a lot of our summer breaks and our Christmas breaks here. This building right here, you're not going to see too much in videos. You'll definitely see the side of it when I travel down the street. But this is my private Christian school I went to when I was a kid in 4th and 5th grade in Reno. Right there is my 4th grade classroom and my 5th grade classroom. Such amazing memory, especially hanging out with my good friend Hillary. Right behind it, you'll see an old Chuck E. Cheese building right there. I was hoping to vlog at a Chuck E. Cheese before they took away all the animatronics, but I wasn't able to. And let's keep driving down the street here, right here. This is not a pop culture reference. It's actually my dad's deli in Blountstown, Florida that we had between 93 and I think it was 99. And right there is another pop culture reference from Bill and Ted's Excellent Adventure. This is the time machine phone booth that they use. And on top of the building, I have some billboards that I created, maybe showing some of my favorite movies, favorite bands, favorite video games, or just whatever. Back behind the buildings, you might not recognize that little town there, but that is actually Reno, Nevada. So there it is right there, the casino's downtown, the mountains behind it with snow, and above it, it's actually got two references. So this one, it could be because Reno hosts the largest free hot air balloon event in the world. So they do that every September, so that could reference that. But it's actually taken from the Chipmunk Adventure from the late 80s, the movie that I just love. And then just below the Reno skyline are these buildings here. Let me show you real quick. There's a Blockbuster video. Let me pick it up because I put little posters in there. There is a Back to the Future poster, Indiana Jones poster, Batman, and Ninja Turtles. All four of my favorite movies right there. And then to the right of that is an old-time Toys R Us. And of course, if you grew up in the 80s and 90s, you recognize Circuit City right there. And to the right, an old Radio Shack. That's almost everything, but down these streets here and parked in the parking lots, I have some vehicles that you might recognize. Besides the Mystery Machine from Scooby-Doo, you're also going to see some vehicles from Transformers. Got some Ninja Turtles, Batman, the A-Team, even Jurassic Park, and my little T-Rex there too. Now last thing here, I know it's not retro, but it's kind of cool. This is actually from the TV show Yellowstone with Kevin Costner. This is the sheriff's truck, and if you see my other episode where I tell you that I'm actually in 4 episodes, I played a deputy. So I kind of like this, how this could be my little truck, you know, driving around little retro village. And one last thing, if you travel the road here and go all the way to the back, you'll find this green stuff right here. You might not know what it is, but that is the dip from Who Framed Roger Rabbit that I made. And it's laying right in front of the tunnel from Roger Rabbit. Also used in Back to the Future Part 2. But here you'll see the cats that I drew up on top, just like on Roger Rabbit. But yeah, so make sure when you watch all the vlogging, traveling videos that you pay attention to this town, because things are always going to be changing. I'm always going to have new different vehicles out there. Things I might be adding in the future, maybe put some more things left-hand side. But right now I'm really proud of my little retro town. And hopefully you guys enjoyed this episode as well.